Hi.
Hello, Emma.
Hey. So I'll just do a little framing of this session for everyone who's listening in before we dive into proper intros. So everyone listening in, we all know that once you're in Finland, you're here, you're doing your job, you are probably not going to be long term here if your probably highly talented partner is not happy professionally. And so this has really been recognised across industry and beyond. So some private companies like Supercell actually employ someone specifically to look at this issue and to take care of the spouses of the highly talented people that they hire from abroad. But not every company has the resources to do that. But this session is of interest to those companies in particular, because the message is, don't worry, there is spouse support available out there. You don't have to make it in-house. And to talk about this, we have Jochen Faugel, who heads up the Capital Region-backed spouse support program for international talents. Hey, Jochen.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
And we have Vismet Chawla, who has been participating in that very same spouse program as a spouse. So welcome, Vismet.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So maybe we could start, Jochen, with you explaining a little bit about the support program.
Yeah, gladly. And first of all, hello, everyone, and thank you for those who are listening and found the interest in this session. Great to be here. Now, the spouse program itself, it's a project that is run by the city of Helsinki, so my employer, but we do so in close collaboration with the cities of Espoo and Vantaa. And as such, the project is part of the bigger kind of umbrella of the Talent Boost initiative. And the reason, as Emma already pointed out, is one goal we have is to help companies retaining their international talent, because we just show, or many statistics show, that one reason why they choose to go back to their home countries is because their spouses are not happy. They have a difficult time to integrate. And it's not surprising, because if you come here as a new person and you have a job, it's already a direct way of how to integrate. If you come with your kids, they get a place in a kindergarten or in school. Again, it's very natural to integrate. But then it's very often these partners who don't have an immediate way to integrate who have the hardest time. So what we do is, with our program, two goals. On the one side, helping the spouses to integrate socially, professionally, culturally. And on the other side, then also, of course, trying to help companies with that, retaining that talent. Now, generally, how we do that is, first of all, I like to see the spouse program as a community, and we'll see, if Vismet can give me a ride on that one. But it's very important to provide a platform where people can meet like-minded peers with similar challenges, similar goals. And just as an example, we have a spouse WhatsApp group, and it's not surprising if we have like 100 messages a day. So it's really nice to see how people are courageous enough to ask questions, but also having, the opportunity, and many spouses who are then willing to help out. So that's one thing we really do, trying to provide a platform. Now, obviously, we also try to do a few things ourselves and not just letting the spouses work. So we do have workshops, meetups, networking events on a regular basis. Due to Corona, unfortunately online, but we try to do our best as we can. We have a phone advice line where people can just call twice a week and ask immediately for help regarding anything related to integration, living in Finland. And for those people who really want to focus on the career, we also have a career track service, which is actually led by my colleague, Maya Melo. And there we focus strongly on individual training, on peer mentoring, and recognition of qualifications and foreign degrees if needed. Yeah, so that's kind of a short introduction to our program. And we can see if Vismet agrees or has something else to say.
No, I totally agree with what Johan has said. And to me, the spouse program, when I came across this concept spouse program, I was really not sure about what I'm getting into, because I have seen a lot of spouse programs, and it ends up not achieving anything. But what in the time of 4 months, what I achieved is building some good relationship, not only with professional network, but also with the spouses who are sharing the journey, like you sharing the journey with you. They're sharing a lot of important information which you might miss out. So I really like this idea how this whole spouse program initiative has been organized by City of Helsinki, because it's empowering me, it's giving me a learning experience, and at the end of the day it tells me there is a hope. You have people who motivates you, and there's a hope you will be happy in this country, because this is a very good initiative. It makes me more welcoming. So, and I really like the way the webinars and workshops are conducted, because it's not a one way session where the speakers are speaking, but it's an interactive session where all the participants and the speakers participate. They go in their different activities in the break room, and then they mingle up. So I can see this platform as a very important platform for building and nurturing very good relationships, and that's what we are here for. We are not only aiming for a job, but we are also aiming for a happy life in this country.
That's good to hear. Before we carry on any further, can you, Jochen, open up, what does spouse mean? Because there are all kinds of ways of being together. So what does spouse mean?
It's a good question, and there are a few people who actually ask, well, do we actually have to be married? Well, I think the relationship status you have, whether it's on paper or in your heart, that's certainly none of our business. So if you're a spouse, if you're in a relationship with an international talent who moved here because of a job, that's the definition of our target group. But how you then officially or unofficially define your relationship, that doesn't really matter to us. Also important, we don't really care how long you have been here. So I think the longest participant, or the participant who has been longest here, is for about 17 years, and then we have a few participants who just came a few weeks ago. So as long as you find value, we are more than happy to welcome you on board there.
And what about the geography bit of it? Do you have to be linked to Helsinki?
So that's one of the few criteria we have. So since Helsinki, Espoo, and Vantaa are organizing this program, one criteria we have is that the spouses should be living in the capital region. Equally so, companies who would like to participate as partners in this program, would like to promote the program, they also should have at least a unit or an entity within the capital region. Yeah.
So outside of Helsinki, Espoo, Vantaa, do you know of any other similar programs?
Well, there are certainly initiatives done. You have the Hidden Gems project in Tampere. I think Turku is, I don't remember the name, unfortunately, but Turku is working on something. I think I was contacted by Joensuu. Some other cities we have been talking to. So it's really nice to see that there are initiatives like this, whether they are focusing on universities or on companies. But it's really good to see that things are moving forward in Finland as a total, and not just in the capital region.
And so say you're living in a city and you're wishing that there was a program like yours, and there isn't. What's your advice to some talent or company that is wanting to make it happen?
Yeah. So two things. I mean, from a company perspective, and I think companies hopefully can profit from this in a great way. But as a company, I think one thing is go to your city organizers and ask them for such a program. And one reason why we got the funding for this project is because over the years there were companies knocking at the city door asking, hey, can we have such a program? Because you mentioned Supercell, they are actually one of our partners, and I've been in close collaboration with Melanie, very thankful for that. But there are, as you said, many others who can't afford something like this. So ask the cities to do something like that. Try to sell it to the municipalities. But on the other side, I think companies can do quite a bit themselves. So I know that a while ago, for example, some gaming companies of the capital region, they got together and were discussing what can they do if they team up, what can they do regarding spouse support. I think that doesn't have to be limited on specific industries, and spouse support is certainly an area where you don't have to have any competitive thought or fear. So I think companies generally should team up, combine resources, and see what they can do together.
So Vismet, going back to your experience with the spouse program, has it helped you at all in relation to the Finnish language, for example?
It has, it hasn't. I'm learning Finnish right now. So I think I'm getting information about what are the other links or what are the other resources I can utilize to strengthen my Finnish language while I'm learning in the school. So that information is basically helping me. So because there are people who have completed certain levels, and as Jochen mentioned, that there's an active WhatsApp group. Sometimes you don't get time to read all the messages in a day, but then at the end of the day, when you have time, you can go through the messages. So there's a lot of information sharing which happens, and language is one of the important aspect in our chats as well. People are talking about the language, the levels, what they can do to achieve the citizenship. So the information is varied type information. It's not only restricted to job, but it's restricted to cultural activity, how to live in a city, where to find what. Yes, so that's so
Maybe
it has helped.
maybe to quickly jump into that question, because it's a very good question, right? And obviously language is very closely related to integration. The reason why we don't focus more on language within the spouse program is very simple. There are already so many great initiatives and language courses out there. And at least for this time of being a project, we just don't have the resources to build a language course ourselves. But as Vismet mentioned, we happily link people who are interested to related organizations. And maybe in the future, that's something worth looking into.
And Vismet, in your experience as a spouse, and by the way, factoid, Vismet is actually the wife of Rupesh, who we heard from earlier on in the WSP presentation, which is wonderful. So are there any other resources that you'd like to share or mention, like for anyone who's listening who might be a spouse? And I'm personally thinking, for example, the Facebook Mothers in Business group, or IWWF, the International Women's group on Facebook. Anything else you've come across?
I have, I think to find the resources, you yourself have to be active about it. And that's what I did when I came here. So all the groups which you are mentioning, I was part of it from the beginning. So you just have to Google about the groups. You have to ask people, you have to be proactive about reaching out and finding information. So I am part of these big groups, but I'm also part of one diversity and inclusion work group, which we are creating in Finland for the first time. So that's because I was proactive. So you will get 100 resources, but you have to be actively seeking for those resources.
Great. Well, this has been a really insightful, interesting conversation, hopefully of interest to employers and talents and spouses and Talent Boost Network members alike. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Emma. It was great interacting with you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.